You're listening to the Snyder-Collin Podcast, presented by FPP Broadcasting. This week's episode brought to you by OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network.
President. Oh, man. Yeah. As you can see when I'm on today, just like we on every other day, go get it. Get to the bag music, Cool kid trap music type shit, I'm a rare individual, cut off your hand if it's killing you. You gotta stand on your tippy don't take. I got cool like I'm Pootie. She give me tame, then I sleep on her booty. Bought me a house, turn that bitch to a cutie. I'm flying, I elevate. I got problems, I open case.
Hashtag Oprah for president.
Ooh.
You get a White House. You get a White House. What a dated joke.
That is a dated joke. Somebody actually used that at Florida State orientation.
Wow.
Form of that joke, yes.
It's that, like, universal at this point. If you go, you get a blah blah blah, you get a blah blah blah, you get a blah 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 to like a crowd or a group of people, they know it's Oprah. They know you're talking about that iconic Oprah moment. How'd she do that? Did she just have that much money? Did just be like, hey, you still got to make payments though, and it's like, yay, yay, Oprah. It's
That's
like,
funny.
Oh, like here's a car now. It's like, well, what do I do with my other car? Like,
sell it.
it's like, but I like the car. Anyways, welcome to another episode of the infamous, notorious, controversial Snyder-Collin Podcast.
Is it really that controversial, though?
I'd say so.
I'm glad.
This is coming from a guy who had Split in his top 3 of the year.
Wow.
I actually recently watched Split with my mom.
And what did she think of it?
Me and Diane watched Split, and I also made her watch Get Out. I was like, you need to watch these. You need to watch these movies, because my mom's actually a big fan of like thrillers and like horror films. I'd say mostly thrillers. Like she loves she loves Hitchcock.
Ugh. Oh God, little burp sesh going on there.
Yeah, this is the smelliest podcast yet, with burps and everything in the microphone.
Right. You're right.
Well, anyways, she loves like thrillers and all that type of stuff. Thrillers, horror. So I was like, yeah, you need to watch both of these. So she did. She watched Get Out first, and my mom is like, she's like 60, and she just didn't get it.
Okay.
She did not understand its like racial sensitivity and racial overtones and stuff like that.
She was just like, I don't see what the white people were doing was bad. I don't see how that was bad.
She was like, yeah, just from like a different time period, I guess. She did not get it, but she still liked it. She thought it was okay. She just didn't get like the buzz and the hype, but she still liked it.
I understand, I guess.
I told her that the movie was nominated for Best Comedy, and she was like, "No, it's not." She was like, "You read like whatever you read, like that's wrong. That movie cannot be nominated for Best Comedy." And I was like, "It is," and she was just like baffled by that. She was like, "Something's wrong over there. Like whoever did that, like they made a mistake."
Let us be clear. We're talking about the nominations for the Golden Globes.
Yes, for
2018
for Get Out. So she liked it. Get Out's more of a young person's movie in a sense.
Yeah,
kind of has like a younger ideology about like racism and stuff like that. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little nuanced.
Yeah, like. It's a woke film, I suppose.
I'm starting to hate the term woke.
Because
because it's overused and like
it's used.
People white people in specific think that they're so woke if they just talk down on themselves and are like, "Oh yeah, I'm white and I'm the worst."
They're like,
I'm woke.
My ancestry, dude, we were slave owners, but I'm not.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm woke for that. It's like, just don't be an asshole and you should be good.
It's like Moonlight, Kendrick Lamar, Hamilton.
Is Hamilton woke?
I don't think it is.
I mean, like, have you ever listened to Hamilton?
Yeah, probably at some point.
It's solid. Gets a little bit of its history wrong, though.
Yeah, well, it's all like hip-hop style.
Well, that's the point.
Its thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she thought Get Out was okay. She really, really liked Split though. She quote unquote said that James McAvoy was brilliant.
Well, that's what she said?
Yeah.
Wow.
She said he was brilliant. Like she was amazed by his performance, which was great. So she liked that one more than Get Out. Yeah.
Split does have that amazingly good McAvoy performance.
Yeah, it does. And if you're sold on that, then you'll like the movie. So
yeah.
So yeah, watch some movies with the ma.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good.
So
I am happy for you.
Speaking of Get Out.
Oh no.
Let's talk about them Globes. A month ago today?
I think so, yeah.
Exactly 1 month ago, as we're recording this podcast, we did a nominees of the Golden Globes, and the Golden Globes were last night, hosted by Seth Meyers. I did not watch any of the show because I was at work, and I figured, hey, I can just look at all the highlights. And that's what I didn't do. Yep. I only saw a few things which there are worth talking about, but Jacob, you watched a good bit of the Golden Globes, didn't you?
It was on in the background. I was doing something else. I can't even remember what it was that I was doing, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Were you working on your bike?
No, I was not, actually.
You didn't just have like an old school like garage TV with like antenna ears?
You know what? That makes me want to get one, Collin. That makes me want to get an old school garage TV.
Garage TV with like bunny ears. It's fuzzy, but you know, it's good to have while you're working in the garage.
Garage TV sounds like the title of Frank Ocean's new album.
the next streaming network.
Garage TV.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. All your favorite punk rock music videos, 80s action movies, and Baywatch reruns.
Just endless toothpaste commercials.
Old school commercials.
Yes.
Have you ever watched like a compilation of like old school like early 2000s Nickelodeon commercials?
I have. They're pretty hilarious.
It is, and it's hella nostalgic too.
It is, because you remember some. Yeah.
And like, because you know, growing up, you watch TV so many times that the commercials like are implanted in your brain purposely.
Yeah.
You know, what's it called? Subliminal messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's crazy how real that is. You know, like it actually works.
Yeah.
Like, it really is planted in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That's weird. Red Robin, yum. That's not really an old school commercial.
I saved so much money by switching to Geico. Can you hear me now? Good. I'm trying to think about there. Where's the beef? I actually heard that today at work.
Really? Where's the beef?
Yeah. In the kitchen.
Wow. You're trying to not to mention a name. No. That's funny.
Where's the beef? Didn't Ronald Reagan say that at one of his like public
Read
speaking
my
things?
lips. No. New. Then he cuts himself off and goes, "Where's the beef?" I know that was George H.W. Bush who said that, but I don't really care. I'm going to mix up my history a little bit for the purpose of this joke.
It worked.
Thank you.
So, did you catch any of like the banter at the Golden Globes? I imagine it was full of talking about our divided country and all the sexual harassment and hate that needs to stop. And
I didn't actually catch any of that. I know that Seth Meyers is that how you say? Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. That's the host.
Yeah, no. I mean like Myers is versus just saying Myers. Seth Meyers.
It is plural.
Yeah. It's two of him.
There's an S.
Yes. Seth Meyers and his amazing monologue. It was okay. But he does talk about the Harvey Weinsteins and the Kevin Spaceys. He says in 20 years Harvey Weinstein will be the first person to be booed in his in memoriam.
Oh my god.
That's a great joke.
Yeah.
It was a solid. That's very good.
Do you think anyone in the crowd was sitting there like sweating bullets, like, you know,
I'm next.
Am I gonna get outed? when someone accepts their award, I want to take this moment to out someone who's in the crowd. It's one of you.
That would be insane.
Wouldn't it?
That'd be awesome.
I had one Golden Globe prediction. Didn't come true.
What was it?
Daniel Kaluuya would win Best Actor in a Comedy, and he would like not accept the award and point out the flaw of like the Hollywood foreign press for nominating it. if he won, he was just like, I can't accept this award because I showed no comedic chops in this effort. This is misguided award.
That'd be amazing.
It would be. Like, that'd be a really cool thing to do because he wasn't.
That would be ballsy as fuck.
It would. He'd probably get some backlash, some blind praise on Twitter and stuff like that.
Oh, I would praise it.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, it'd be profound and smart because he wasn't funny in the movie. That's not a comedic performance.
No.
So imagine if he was awarded for that. That's like not treason, but like, what would you call that? Mutiny?
I wouldn't call it treason or mutiny. I don't know what I'd call it, but
Bullshit?
I wouldn't call it those.
You'd call it bullshit?
Yeah.
There has to be
It would be
it's like being
insulting, offending.
I want a more like judicial term.
Egregious.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same.
One moment from the Golden Globes that I saw, which I thought was amazing, was James Franco
pushing Tommy Wiseau out of the way. Oh my gosh, that was a little controversial.
I don't think there's anything wrong with him doing that.
I don't either.
All.
I don't have a problem with it. Because Tommy Wiseau was going to say some crazy shit.
Yeah, he was
and James Franco spared the entire audience of it.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau was going to say something really dumb, and it was going to piss everyone off. And, all right, James Franco wins. Okay, good for him. And, he congratulates, Tommy Wiseau. He's like, the man, he's walking on stage and everything, and everyone's, cheering. And I was just like, how sad.
This is, it's like, hey, your movie is so terrible. We made a movie about it.
That was good. And it's winning awards.
Yeah.
Someone's winning an award for portraying you.
Here's a hot take. James Franco wrangling Tommy Wiseau. Do you know what that reminded me of? I'll tell you. It reminded me...
Do you mean when he was doing his impression and his speech?
No. I meant...
Oh, pushing him aside.
Getting him out of the way, kind of daddying him a little bit. It's like Tommy Wiseau is Caesar in Rise for the Planet of the Apes. And James Franco is just this ape wrangler who's just no.
Caesar,
we're not gonna do that.
Caesar, back off, stay in the attic.
No. James Franco seems like the ruler or the wrangler of Tommy Wiseau, who's just in charge of him.
He's like Daddy Dom. Yes. And Tommy's the little girl.
Yes. It just reminded me of Tommy tried to do some stupid shit because he's a child, and James Franco was just no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, he did it. He did it quick too.
Yeah, it was very. I wonder if James Franco is a good father, because that was a good little father moment. As if he is Tommy Wiseau's dad.
It was. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. It was his award, and
yeah, apparently Tommy wasn't invited on stage at first. But
once he started, they weren't going to let him stop.
Yeah, okay. James called him up. James Franco called him up on stage, but he was already heading on stage.
But it's when everyone applauded Tommy Wiseau, it's just congratulations, you are the worst actor of all time.
Yeah, it
felt
really
so phony,
weird.
And forced. It's Tommy Wiseau is no one. But I guess he's something now because of this Disaster Artist movie, which I still want to see. God, where am I going with this? But it's almost the story is continuing in front of our eyes, Yeah,
now it really is.
Now there's more material for the story to go. You could, write about the whole making of process. There has to be a whole story with that. And then you have Tommy at the Golden Globes. Tommy's probably gonna be at the Oscars.
Probably, yeah.
Granted, James Franco... he has a pretty good chance of getting a nomination. Maybe not. Maybe a Best Adapted Screenplay Oscar. Tommy's going to be at the Oscars. If he was at the Golden Globes, he'll be at the Oscars. Maybe the Disaster Artist gets nominated for Best Picture. There are 10 slots.
Maybe.
So they could carry the Disaster Artist over.
They could.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with James Franco being he made a very smart decision.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with
backing him off.
Yeah.
Because, they have 2 minutes up there. Tommy was gonna... Oh, Hollywood! I made it!
Yeah, it would... Oh, man. It would have been so cringe.
Here I am!
I know you hate the word cringe, but it would have been cringeworthy.
You just Excuse me, Snyder, you just made me cringe.
It would have been wince-inducing.
So, Jacob, the best motion picture awards. So, what did we predict? Like The Post or Dunkirk would win?
I don't remember.
I think I might have brought up The Post. I was like, yeah, they'll probably give it to that. That seems pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been or Call Me by Your Name. I would have liked to have seen The Shape of Water win, but it ended up being Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which we commented that it's just like, yeah, it's just gonna be one of those movies that's just like nominated for lots of stuff, doesn't win anything, and boy, were we wrong.
Yeah, I had predicted wrongly that it would be the hell or high water of this year's award season, and we were wrong.
Yeah, we were absolutely wrong. So Three Billboards took home Best Drama. For Best Musical or Comedy, Lady Bird. Not a big surprise that Lady Bird won, probably deservingly. Seemed like it owned that category. Maybe The Disaster Artist or Get Out. The Greatest Showman, though. Imagine if that won. Just like the one musical that came out this year. Here's an award.
Yep.
I'm not sold on either one of these winning the Oscar for Best Picture, though.
Me neither.
I'm not sold.
I don't think Three Billboards is going to win it. I think that these Three Billboards wins are mostly to do with the Hollywood Foreign Press.
Yeah, you were just telling me about this a little bit, and we have not seen this movie, so this is just speculation and whatever things we may have read about the movie.
Yeah, but like a lot of people aren't liking it that are American. A lot of people from this country do not enjoy this movie at all.
I guess because it's like, no, I'm not going to say anti-American, but it's, from what I understand, it's about this woman, her daughter is murdered, and the police aren't doing anything about it, so she puts up these billboards that I guess she happens to own, or rents out advertisements, like slandering the local police about like, hey, why the hell isn't anyone doing anything about this?
That's not slandering, but, you know. Slander is written lies.
Fuck you, Jacob.
Wait, no. Slander is spoken lies. Libel is...
Slander is usually used towards political parties.
Yeah, it's political slander, but it means you're lying. Like, if you and I were running for office, say you were on one side and I was on the other, and I was like, Collin is ugly, I would be slandering you because slander? You are not ugly.
Oh wow,
you're a very attractive man.
That's so sweet of you.
You're very welcome.
Or if I was just like, yeah, Snyder can't even grow a beard,
but I can.
Yeah, you clearly can. Yep. So that would be slander.
Yep, slander. But if I was like, hey Collin, here I have this note for you, and I wrote it down, and then you open it up and you read it, and it was like, you're fucking ugly. You'd be like, oh my god, that's libel. It's written down. It's mostly like printed in newspaper. So if I printed in the newspaper, or if you printed in the newspaper, hey, Jacob can't grow a beard, libel, I believe.
Is this what like The Post is about?
Yeah.
Did you see The Post recently, or are they just like, this is libel?
No, I'm actually quoting a Spider-Man reference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Peter Parker's like, that's slander. And then J. Jonah Jameson's just like, actually
Bugle.
It's written, so it's libel.
Is this in the live action one?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So Three Billboards, I guess, you were saying that it's like a outsider's look at American life.
Yeah, because it's directed by someone not from America.
Yeah, some British, Scottish,
somethinger.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
I think he's British. English gentleman.
Yeah.
So, best performance in a motion picture, Gary Oldman. I think he's going to win the Oscar. That seems like a safe choice.
Yeah.
It's his year.
Don't you think Daniel Day-Lewis will win?
I don't think he has any buzz for Phantom Thread. It just seems like a safe vote. I know we were talking about it earlier, but the momentum for Gary Oldman is boosted up, and Daniel Day-Lewis, not as much. I can't believe they nominated Denzel Washington.
What for?
Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Fences again.
They're like, oh, it went out overseas in 2017. Tom Hanks was also nominated. The kid from Interstellar for Call Me by Your Name.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Gary Oldman, Frances McDormand won for Best Actress. So she's gaining some momentum. And then, of course, you have for musical or comedy, James Franco, which we talked about. He was kind of a shoo-in. Like, we brought up earlier, Ansel Elgort for Baby Driver. That'd be weird.
It would be weird.
That would be a weird win.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I'm not... yeah, fuck it.
And then for actress in a comedy, Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird. I think it's going to be her and Frances McDormand. Going to be neck and neck for the Oscar. If they're nominated. If they're not, that'd be shocking. But it's like you have veteran actress Frances McDormand doing a powerful performance this late into her career. And then you have a young up-and-comer for Lady Bird, and they usually award Best Actress to younger actresses.
That's true.
Historically. So, it's tough to say. But Best Supporting Actor, Sam Rockwell, which I think I called on the podcast. I said, just give it to him. He deserves something.
Yeah. I love Sam Rockwell, and I think he should win.
Yeah. I'm glad he's getting recognition.
Yep.
Him and Gary Oldman this year. Those are two actors that are like, yeah, they're amazing, but they're never considered for any awards.
They never are.
No.
Have we had You've never seen Moon, have you?
No.
God,
I've heard...
watch that.
I know you love it.
Go home and watch that film.
You want to know something, Jacob?
Yeah.
I know what your favorite genre is.
Oh, what is it?
It's science fiction and space movies.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do love it.
So I know Moon is like one of the better ones to come out in the past 8 years.
Duncan Jones.
Yeah, when did Moon come out? Like 2010, 2009?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
But Kevin Spacey, his voice is in it, so I don't know if I should watch it because I might think I'm a terrible person.
Oh man, his voice is in it.
Yeah, he plays an AI. He voices an AI.
Yeah, he sure does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, as John Campea would say.
It's weird that I know that.
It is weird.
I'm like, I haven't seen Moon, but
Kevin
Spacey voices an AI.
Yeah,
I specifically know that.
Yeah. Kevin Spacey's amazing in the film.
We'll wrap this up.
God, this is disgusting.
Only a few more awards. Allison Janney for I, Tonya. Good for her. Allison Janney's great in everything.
Tonya Harding was in the audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she got thanked in the speech, and a lot of people were in upheaval over that as well.
Oh, of course they were.
Who cares, right?
Yeah, I know. It happened 20 years ago. Sure, an assailant bashed what's-her-face's leg.
Yeah.
It's let it go.
Right? Who cares?
Yeah, it was big back then.
No one cares about your stupid leg.
That's what was big back in the early 90s. Ice skaters and assailants. So yeah, Allison Janney won. Congratulations, Miss Janney. And then for Best Director, Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. And I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I think it's his year. It's well deserved and overdue. Sometimes it's about awarding the director, oh, here you go. And The Shape of Water kind of is everything that Del Toro does best. His speech. Did you watch his speech?
No.
It's amazing. It's very much him. He's up there. He's panting. It sounds like he's about to have a heart attack, running out of breath, and he's just I love my monsters. The movies that I've made, they save me. He talks about how the movies he represents as they take away a part of him. Each movie he makes, he's closer to death. And he makes a joke how it's for me it's 4 years out of my life, but just one credit on IMDb. And he thanks everyone, and he talks about how much it means to him making the types of films that he makes. He's I just he's sweating, and it's he's clearly about to have a stroke or something. And
I just love Pacific Rim.
Yeah, he's I love my monsters, and it was a nice speech. And then
Well, good for him, you know?
Yeah.
How's Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro sound to you later in the year?
It sounds right. Dude, Mexican filmmakers have been dominating this decade for film.
You're right.
They have. I mean, the three notable ones are him, Alfonso Cuarón, and Alejandro G. Iñárritu.
And Denis Villeneuve.
He's French Canadian.
And also start naming director Steven Spielberg.
I'll see if there's any
Mexican.
I'll see if there are any other Mexican filmmakers, but they really have. Even, those Mexicans, dude, they have a fucking eye for movies.
Yeah, they do.
They just know how to make movies.
Yeah, they do.
I know somewhere I read some funny interview about Guillermo del Toro recounting about like seeing John Carpenter's The Thing in theaters in Mexico. And he's very like blunt when talking about Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mexicans love referring to other Mexicans as Mexicans,
That's hilarious.
Like when it comes to other people and like Americans, it sounds racist, but Mexicans, they're just like, oh yeah, you got a truck full of Mexicans and a bottle of tequila, it's crazy.
Well, it's because he's a member of that nationality, so he can say that.
Yeah, and he recounts watching The Thing in theaters and like everyone just like flipping their shit. The scene where they're like tied to the chairs, and one of them's like turning into the thing and everything. It was a funny story.
Yeah.
So yeah, Guillermo del Toro. I sent you a Snapchat of him from back in the early 90s.
Yeah, you did. Him with no beard.
Yeah.
That was disturbing.
He looked like a very overweight C-Dub. Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
If C-Dub like put on an extra like 150 pounds. I heard C-Dub's lost weight.
I heard C-Dub's lost something else.
Oh,
shout out to C-Dub. Woo!
Congratulations, Dub.
Congratulations indeed, sir. Love you to death. Love even more what you're doing these days. Doing.
You dirty dog, you.
You son of a bitch.
I'm gonna have to go tell Connor.
I already told him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I figured he'd known. Noon. That's a new. Oh.
He would have known.
Hey, he would have known.
Ewan, shouldn't you have already known you were gonna be in Obi-Wan standoff? Obi-Wan standalone film? Didn't you already known?
That's great. That's great, Collin. You're fucking funny. All right. No, but I told him, and he was like, "Oh, wow, really?" I was like, "Oh, I guess you didn't know." My bad.
Oh, I can perfectly imagine the way he would say that. Oh, wow, really?
I like Connor, and I like Collin, and I like their older brother, Conliffe.
Or Clifford?
That's probably not his name.
Clifford?
I imagine all of their names started with C-O, so like Coakley. Like not a real name.
I think I went to school with a kid named Connor Coakley or something like that. I don't know. Sounds vaguely familiar.
Did you go with anybody named Coakley Dub?
Coakley Dub, yeah.
Yeah.
He was from Dublin, of all places.
Wow. Ewan,
shouldn't you have already known?
Shouldn't you have already known? Ewan.
You're in Train Spotting too, but where's your next Star Wars movie?
I didn't know what he looked like on Fargo. He looks fantastic on Fargo.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look him up.
You're gonna have to look it up.
Ewan McGregor, Fargo. Oh my god.
He looks like kind of like Bob Odenkirk.
Jesus, like balding and long-haired? Is this the right picture?
Yes. Yeah, balding and long-haired. That is him.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
Doesn't he sort of look like older Bob Odenkirk? Odenkirk, is that his name?
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
From Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Yes, and Fargo as well.
Also Fargo. A little bit. He looks like Brad Dourif and Rob Zombie's Halloween as the sheriff. That's exactly who he looks like.
Interesting.
He looks like an old version of Cody.
Oh my god.
That's what Cody's gonna look like when he's in his like mid-40s.
That's funny.
Mid-40s to 50s. Have you seen the Fargo show?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I remember hearing about it when it was first announced that there was like already a show on TV called Fargo.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, what? Like, why? Like, it's based off the movie? Like,
supposedly it's really good.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I feel like calling it Fargo is kind of like a bit of a stretch. It's like, what does this really have to do with the movie Fargo? It's more just like, oh, it's like Fargo. Or it could be totally wrong. Maybe it has like characters from the movie and stuff like that, and they reference the original Fargo movie.
I don't know.
I don't know
Who's
either.
to say, really? We'll have to watch the show to find out.
We can't comment, but we can speculate. I think it's like Fargo.
I think it's like Twin Peaks. I think it's very Lynchian.
You think it's Lynchian?
Yes.
Probably. Actually, you know what? It could be a little bit like Twin Peaks. Small town, crime.
Snow.
Surreal. There's no
Bob Odenkirk.
There's no snow in Twin Peaks.
There's no Bob Odenkirk either. Ewan McGregor.
And Colin McLaughlin nominated in the same category.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
for
to Ewan.
losing. I'm sure you were upset. I'm really sorry about it.
Yeah, I cried.
Did
actually.
you? Wow, that's amazing.
Kyle, you lost. Have you seen that video of like that girl weeping after seeing The Last Jedi?
No.
Oh.
Is it amazing?
Yeah, she's like, they ruined it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I kind of want to watch it now.
It's. I'll see if I can find it.
They ruined it.
Yeah, she's like,
Fuck all of
she's
you.
like hysterically crying. Girl cries.
Oh man,
Last Jedi.
This is gonna be so bad. I don't want to see this. By the way, if anybody out there cries over a Star Wars film, go fuck yourself. Unless it's Empire. I mean, like, unless they're like sadness tears, like at how beautiful the twin sons scene is in A New Hope, or if it's, I don't know.
I can't find it actually. It might not have been a viral video.
It might have been deleted.
It could have been. The only thing that I'm finding are people like the reaction videos to the trailer, and they're crying from the trailer, which
that's
is
great.
Yeah, that's kind of pathetic.
It is.
Like,
are you sure this wasn't just you in a wig crying into the mirror over The Last Jedi?
Yeah, I developed a DID after seeing The Last Jedi.
I understand. I understand why.
Yeah,
I mean, like all these forced projections.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what even is this?
I actually have to get home pretty soon. I got these like people at my house. They're kind of, like they're there against their will. It's a Split.
Oh, that's a Split reference. Yeah. You're funny.
And in Split, there's a reference to another M. Night movie, which I recently saw. If you want to discuss that movie for a little bit, Jacob.
Oh yeah, another M. Night movie. It's titled Unbreakable.
It came out in the year 2000.
What a year!
Yeah, just 1 year before 9/11.
Oh, God,
what?
Jesus Christ!
Historically, that's what the year 2000 is going to be known for, other than being the turn of the millennia.
Yeah, and the year Unbreakable came out.
Yeah, those three things: new millennia, the year before 9/11, and Unbreakable, which is kind of I think it's been reevaluated now, especially since Split, because that movie was big. More people probably went back to either watch it for the first time or rewatch it since. So, Unbreakable came out. It was the follow-up to M. Night's The Sixth Sense, which was, huge.
Sixth Sense was beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen, actually.
Have you even seen it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have. Little fun fact. There are 2 M. Night Shyamalan movies that I was terrified to watch as a kid, but I would love to watch them. Can you guess the ones?
The Sixth Sense I saw when I was a kid, and I will say there was one scene that freaked me the fuck out in that movie.
The scene with the little girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That freaked me out.
That is a freaky scene.
Oh god, that shocked me when I first saw it. Is tense unbuttoning, or the clamps, the clothespins are kind of, and the camera pans down, you just see the girl sitting there, and she's like vomiting up her like oatmeal, which plays later in the movie.
Yeah. It's shocking.
It was.
For sure.
And especially for like someone younger to see that, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I'm gonna guess Signs.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Do you know which scene in Signs freaked me out the most?
I'm gonna guess because it was a scene. It didn't like unsettle me or anything, but it made me jump.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that one in theaters on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
That was a tradition with my family to go to movies, the Dollar Theater, and go see a movie on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
and
wow.
one year we saw Signs.
Mm-hmm.
But the kitchen knife scene.
No, that's not the scene that unsettled me the most.
What was the scene?
It's the birthday party scene on the TV.
Oh yeah, we have talked about it. That is a great scene.
It is, because it's very unsettling.
It is.
It's just, you do not feel good about that.
No.
Like that's where M. Night shines the most, and just showing you things that are very unsettling to you and you don't know why. Like seeing that really tall being
just walk by.
Yeah, just walk, not aggressive or anything, just walks by.
Just like imagine like seeing that.
Like yeah, it was horrifying. It's horrifying. And Joaquin Phoenix's reaction to it is as anybody else's would be.
He's like gasping, covering his mouth, just in pure like,
he's like
shock
blown
and
back.
terror.
Yeah.
Signs. That movie has so many great scenes in it. When you really think back on it,
yeah,
everyone remembers it for like the stupid water is like hurting the aliens, which is just horrible. That's just a horrible idea. And then like swing away, Meryl. But that movie has so many amazing scenes. Like the scene where they're eating their last dinner. It's heartbreaking.
It is.
It like that's such a sad scene. It's very M. Night too. Like very very M. Night when you hear aliens like running around on the roof and you don't see them. It's all in there, and the dad's just like, the day you were born, you had the most beautiful eyes, and like there's like swelling music, and it's just so like strange.
It is strange. It's eerie and
like touching.
Yeah. It's impactful.
Yeah.
It's loud yet quiet. I just enjoy it. I don't know. Signs is good. I even like the religious themes in it. I enjoy them.
M. Night, he's a very religious man, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, I think his first film was all about Christianity or something like that. It's done, it is done well, because it's about this man who lost his faith.
Yeah, and he finds his faith in aliens.
Something godless.
I guess.
Basically.
Pretty much. Swing away, Meryl.
That is... has some great moments in it.
It does. Then he just goes back to being a pastor.
Yeah, after all that.
Yep.
Don't you love it when he keeps encountering the man who killed his wife, and it's played by M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's like driving away from his house, and he's like, it's like it was meant to be. You know what movie I liked the first time I watched it? And I think I saw it one more time afterwards, and I actually have the DVD.
Let me guess. Is it an M. Night movie?
Yes.
The Village.
No, but we can talk about The Village.
Okay.
You know what?
Let's talk about The Village.
Let's talk about M. Night. This isn't even... M. Night's
I figured
worth
we
talking
were already
about.
doing that, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, let's just go.
This is an
deep
M. Night
dive
Shyamalan episode.
Into M. Night. So Signs, I really like Signs despite its bad writing. It has shortcomings, but it has so many great suspenseful scenes.
Yeah, I think the water is the weak point for me, but otherwise, other than the water weakness, I think it's a very good movie.
I think the idea is that because it's water that the daughter left everywhere in the house. She's like, it's contaminated. I don't want to drink it.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to be that like symbolically she's like an angel, and that's like water that she's blessed, and that's why it kills the alien.
Gotcha.
But that doesn't really work because M. Night, he has one. It's literally M. Night in the movie. He has one trapped in his kitchen. He says they don't like going near water.
Yeah.
But I think that was the idea.
Okay.
And I think
that makes sense. I like that. I figure it's something to do with, because water in faith is symbolic of different things.
But if you
resurrection, most notably,
holy water.
Yes.
So I think that is the idea behind it. But coming from a science fiction standpoint, water killing aliens is like
dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's
poor writing. It's almost
there's water in the air, humidity, and the whole fucking planet's made of water.
Yeah, it's almost writing so bad that it's good. Where I think that not like in a funny way, in a way that's like, oh, like that's so lazy that it works. Whereas War of the Worlds works, but it's very lazy. It's a very lazy decision to just say they're allergic to our air. Yeah. Our toxins kill them.
The tiniest of bacteria just kills these foreign aliens. I can kind of buy that.
I buy it too, but I'm saying that Signs is on the verge of that, but it's just not quite there, so it's dumb.
Like for War of the Worlds, it's like that's like a classic thing.
That's cool. Yeah, and like Signs, I feel like could have been, but it's just not.
So Signs, that's when Entertainment Weekly infamously had him on the cover of one of their magazines and called him the next Spielberg.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you can look that up. It might not have been Entertainment Weekly. I think it was, but they called him the next Spielberg.
Wow, isn't that awful to think of now?
So he was starting off strong, but The Sixth Sense wasn't his directorial debut. He had I gotta look him up.
It was E tu Mama Tambien.
Hey, M. Night is an Indian man.
I was mostly kidding. Isn't E tu Mama Tambien a Denis Villeneuve film?
No, it is Alfonso Cuarón.
All right, well, shut me the fuck up then.
Denis Villeneuve is French Canadian.
I know, but like I know that he's. We've already talked about him being French Canadian. I don't care. It doesn't matter what he is. It matters.
Okay, so The Sixth Sense was his third movie. He had one movie in 1992 called Praying with Anger.
Oh, and Praying with Anger. I'm a big fan of that movie.
Yeah, that must be a really obscure movie. And then, in 1998, he had a comedy drama movie called Wide Awake that stars Dennis Leary and Rosie O'Donnell.
Wow.
Rosie O'Donnell, yeah. So two movies that if M. Night had never done The Sixth Sense, they probably would have just been like forgotten forever, which they still kind of are. So, fun little fact, because I'm guessing those movies are drastically different than The Sixth Sense.
I would assume so, yes.
So, after Signs is The Village. I always like talking about The Village because I always have somewhat of a decent story to go behind it.
Yeah. Do tell.
I saw it opening weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How disappointed were you?
I think, it came out in 2004, so I was 10 years old. And I just did not know what to make of that movie at all at that age. Like,
I love The Village.
Really?
No.
It was the first. All right, the first sign of M. Night like sucking balls is in Signs, which we just brought up.
That's true.
The water and swing away. It's like it was meant to be, that type of stuff. It was kind of like, ooh, this sucks a little bit.
It's writing that he thought was very good. It's evident that he thought it was very profound, but at the end of the day, it's really just not.
And The Village comes out, and The Village has some great stuff in it.
It does. The Village is beautiful.
Yeah, it's shot by Roger Deakins, has amazing cinematography and great music, but the script, that M. Night screenplay...
Boy, it is bad.
It starts off interesting. You think it's about this village with monsters in the woods, and it takes such a... Like, it's almost brilliant, but it's not executed well. You find out that it's actually a community, like not Amish, but similar to that.
Yeah.
You find out it's set in modern day. Not until the very end, when Bryce Dallas Howard, she's out to retrieve medicine. She climbs up a fence and she's on a road. Then like a car pulls up and you're just like, oh my god.
That is a bit. I do love that part of the movie. It's just like, what the hell is this?
It really is interesting, but just in execution doesn't quite work.
No.
I still like this movie, but I wouldn't go as far to say it's like one of his best movies.
No.
No way.
No.
This movie, The Village, I believe it was accused of plagiarism because of that twist. Yeah. Plagiarism allegations. Simon and Schuster publications of the 1995 young adults book Running Out of Time by Margaret Peterson Haddix claims that the film had taken ideas from the book. I'm guessing that it was just a coincidence.
I will guess so too, because it's not that profound.
Exactly. Again. It's like an idea that someone had already thought of before. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing the idea is like, oh, it actually takes place in modern day. It's not a period piece. If I were to assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. In the book, you think it's the 1830s when the year is actually 1996. No lawsuit was ever filed over the similarity.
Okay, well, it wouldn't have held up in court anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just such a general idea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I saw it at a young age and just didn't know what to make of it. It's okay. I actually put it on, it's on Netflix, I think, and I put it on like a few months back, and it's kind of the movie every time you watch it, you realize it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Adrian Brody plays a special needs guy, though.
He goes full retard, too.
Yes, he does,
which,
and it's beautiful.
Yeah. He kills Joaquin Phoenix. Is M. Night Shyamalan, does he hate the mentally unwell?
Yes.
He does? Or I don't think...
He believes them ungodly.
I don't think he hates them. I think he just finds them fascinating. And for the point of, like, thrills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got something to say, buddy?
No. I just, I haven't even seen that many M. Night Shyamalan movies. I've seen Sixth Sense, The Signs, The Village.
So, You're trying to tell me you haven't seen his follow-up, Lady in the Water?
Oh. I have seen Lady in the Water.
You know what? I remember seeing it in theaters. I saw a lot of M. Night movies in theaters.
Yeah, apparently you're a real M. Night guy, aren't you?
Yeah, he was the guy for a little while.
He was.
I remember seeing Lady in the Water, and I remember liking it.
Turns out it's shit.
Yeah, I think this is when his writing became like the Bible to him or something.
Yeah.
Because there's like a scene where there's like a movie critic character that gets mauled by like a grass dog. It's like a modern day fairy tale. It's kind of an interesting idea, but just that weird Shyamalan awkward dialogue.
He's a bizarre guy, isn't he?
He is. He really loves like these big, like touching dialogue moments where people are going through revelations, but they're just like speaking to each other.
Yeah.
It happens in Split. It happens in Signs. It happens all the time in Signs. Lady in the Water. It's about a water nymph that Paul Giamatti finds in a swimming pool. It's an interesting idea, I'll give it that.
Yeah, he does have some interesting ideas. I just don't think every one of them is executed in the correct way.
Of course. So Lady in the Water, I'm going to have to rewatch it because I like the idea of it. I remember it had nice cinematography. Was it shot by Roger Deakins? No. But this movie bombed at the box office. Apparently, M. Night was a kind of a prick trying to get this movie made, too.
Really?
Yeah, something about creative differences, like one studio not liking his script, and he was like totally offended by it.
Huh.
And just being, kind of like oh, how dare you mentality, like try to change my script. Something that only like Quentin Tarantino could get away with.
Yeah.
But
because Quentin Tarantino knows his scripts are great.
Yeah, he knows he can get away with it.
Yeah.
So just as Shyamalan's previous 4 films were released by Walt Disney, Disney executive had spoken with Shyamalan about the film's storyline, the idea for which studio chairman Dick Cook didn't understand. Shyamalan was reportedly angry about the response, claiming that Disney no longer valued individualism.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so M. Night was ticked off.
Yeah, he was.
And he got the movie made, and no one liked it.
And it bombed. That shows them
It did.
Disney makes dollars, not cents. But sometimes they make sense.
Oh man. Then his next movie, it's one of those hilariously awful films, The Happening. God,
yeah.
that is such a bad movie.
It's almost a comedy. It is a comedy.
It's horribly directed.
I think it's meant to be a comedy. Like, I don't know how a competent filmmaker can make that film. It's so bad.
You know, on Wikipedia, it's listed as a horror thriller film. I think, would it be unfair to call this a science fiction film?
I don't think it would be unfair.
Yeah, because it's like the trees releasing gas is like part of natural selection to like kill off the human race.
Yeah, because the humans are killing so many of them, so
Mhm.
they realize that they have to start killing off humans. So they do.
All right,
It's dumb.
Besides the dumb script, you want to know what also makes this movie tank?
What?
It's so horribly cast. Everyone is so miscast in this movie. It's
Mark
insane.
Wahlberg is terrible. Zoe Deschanel is terrible. Who else is in this
She's
movie?
terrible in everything.
She's good in Elf.
She's fine in New Girl. I guess I haven't seen it, but I've never been a fan of her in The Happening. Just weird casting. John Leguizamo, of all people, he plays like a math teacher.
Yeah,
just weird casting. It does have Betty Buckley in it, who was later in Split.
Yeah,
she played the lady who's like banging her head through glass windows, and you're like, what's going on? One thing I will say about The Happening, though, is that once you start watching it, you're kind of like glued to the movie, like, you know. Like, it's still kind of
a car crash. You don't want to stop watching it.
There's a scene with a car crash. Yeah. John Leguizamo gets out, picks up a piece of broken glass, and starts cutting his wrist.
It's an amazing movie. It truly is amazing. What? No. Do you know that?
Yeah, and like,
you're trying to kill me.
Yeah. Are you stealing? What? No. And then there's like, isn't there a scene where like the wind's blowing and like the camera's closing in on Mark Wahlberg's face and there's like gunshots in the background? He's like, could it be the bees? Or something like, he's trying to think of like an outcome or something, and he's like, northwest? South? I don't know what he says exactly, but he says he's trying to find an outcome, and there's like gunshots going on in the background.
It's a comedy. It's
intentionally hilarious.
I think it is. I think it is intentionally. I think The Happening might be genius.
The Happening is M. Night's only R-rated movie.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of missed potential to use it on The Happening. One scene that kind of freaked me out a little bit was when the kid got shot. The gun pokes out and shoots him. I was like, God damn. I did not see that coming.
It's unsettling.
Yeah, child murder. So the movie, alright, it has that point. It had one scene that kind of disturbed me a little bit. Seeing a kid get shot. You know, I was a kid.
Get.
Shot.
Get. Shot.
That
was good. Good teamwork there. I liked it.
So yeah, The Happening. One of the worst films, but he followed it up with an even worse movie, The Last Airbender.
Wow.
So
I haven't seen this movie.
I've seen a good bit of it.
I know there's a scene where someone's hair looks like a penis.
Yes, like the water princess. I watched a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender growing up. It was a great show.
And the movie does it justice.
Yeah, it's such a faithful not just a faithful adaptation, but a faithful representation.
Wow. No, it's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it really is. It shouldn't have been made.
No, dude, I'm very gassy. Like, not like in my ass, but like in my burps.
You're very burpy today?
Yeah, I guess that's the way to say that, isn't it?
I'm disappointed you're not gassy in your ass. That's disappointing to hear.
Well, I'm sorry, Collin.
It's
Dick.
it's probably that chili you ate. It's probably giving you some maybe a little
You're probably right.
little acid reflux, a little acidic chili warming up your gut.
Maybe you're right. Oh God, Collin, you're a good guy. You know that?
Yeah.
All right. Shit.
Yeah. Duh.
No shit.
I'm just trying to continue with talking about the Last Airbender a little bit.
I know what you're trying to do.
Because I was sitting in the theater with my buddy Lincoln.
Park?
No.
Oh.
No.
Mercury.
Lincoln Mercury. It was actually a car. It was I was sitting next to a car in the theater. Of all films we were watching, it was Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Wow.
And we were sitting through the previews, and one of them was for The Last Airbender.
Oh, is it the candle one? Is it the one with where he has the staff and he's swinging it around and he's blowing out all the candles?
Yeah, he's on like a temple and like it pans out. You see the Fire Nation launching fireballs.
Yeah.
And it was like a film by M. Night Shyamalan. And I could not believe this movie existed. I was like, this looks terrible. I knew right away. I was like, what? No, like, it's way too soon. That's what I kept thinking.
The show wasn't even over at the time either, was it?
I think it was just like a few years, like freshly over. I just didn't see the reasoning of making this into a live action movie and it working,
And boy, does it deliver.
Yeah, this is probably his worst movie. That and The Happening. But this movie's kind of extra worse because of the show that it's based on. The show is very charming and creative, imaginative, action-packed, very well animated, had lots of memorable characters, which this movie goes out of its way to like mispronounce everyone's name.
Overall, you're saying that this movie is not good.
It's not. Like, they call Aang Ong Soka? Like, why? Like,
why are you being a dick to these things?
And
night,
these Eskimo people, kids, Sokka and Katara, they're just played by like some white kids.
They are.
Yeah. The Fire Nation in the show is shown to be like traditional, like Japan, somewhere between perhaps like industrial era and feudal Japan.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they're all like Indian, which is funny because M. Night Shyamalan is a Indian man as well.
What is he trying to say there? What do you think?
I guess he wanted perhaps more like Indian people in the show or in the movie over than like the Asians. So it's interesting that they flipped that. And they had Dev Patel play Prince Zuko. He was in Slumdog Millionaire. Lion. Yeah. They had him play it.
Yeah.
Just not a good movie at all. It had poor visual effects. I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't either.
So he follows that up with Devil, which he produced and wrote. Never saw it because I assumed it would be dumb.
I didn't know I'd seen that movie.
Devil?
I have seen that movie, yeah.
The people in the elevator, and they're like, one of you is the devil.
It's like, okay. It's fine.
You liked it?
Yeah, it's fine.
You thought it was decent?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not directed by M. Night, but just produced and written.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's okay.
That's weird.
It does have... Jesus, what is his thing?
Does it make sense
An old lady is the devil.
Yeah.
That's very M. Night.
And there's the whole jelly side down.
Yeah.
There's like the security guard who works in the building or the elevator stuff. He's like, if you toss this piece of jelly toast and it lands jelly side down, that means there's like Satan is nearby. Which I guess is just supposed to be a silly scene, but that's really ridiculous.
It's stupid. I don't know. It's fine. That didn't bother me at the time of seeing it, and I kind of forgot it existed, if I'm totally honest with you.
Fair.
I liked it. I liked the ending of the movie.
So you actually you enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's great or anything, but it's it's fine.
That's how I felt about the movie Unfriended. Like, yeah, it's really stupid, but I found it kind of entertaining.
Is that?
That's the webcam horror movie that takes place only on like a computer OS.
It's the one where it's like a Skype.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Skype, and the girl like pissed herself. She was so drunk or shit herself. She was so drunk, and then she comes back as a demon.
Yeah, and she's like killing them one by one off Skype.
And it ended up being a demon. She was a demon.
It was her like vengeful spirit because she was getting back at her friends. Yeah, the movie was really stupid. I wouldn't say it was great, but I found it entertaining.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Some would say that Unfriended is shit, and it is, but it's fun to watch a poop.
You're right. Yeah. I love watching shit.
Hey, speaking of shit, have you seen After Earth with Will Smith, directed by M. Night Shyamalan?
I don't want to see it, no.
Have you? I've seen the Nostalgia Critic review of it, so kinda. I've seen an abridged version of the movie pointing out all the plot points and major shortcomings.
Isn't Will Smith's character's name like Cypher Rage?
Yes.
That is the worst name.
Now, in this review that I watched, he made an excellent point that maybe M. Night wasn't solely to blame for this movie sucking, and more so that its main purpose was to be a Will Smith vehicle for him and Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the real reason this movie's bad. I remember seeing trailers, and it looked really bland. It looked like horrible sci-fi, which it turned out to be. Just kind of a corny...
I'm just remembering lines from that fucking movie.
It's like, they call... Dad, what is this planet that I'm on? They called it... Looks into the camera. Earth. Welcome to Earth.
And then, Jaden Smith's like, my suit's black. Why is my suit black? I like it, but I like it, but I think it's something bad.
Yeah.
And that is a terrible line. It is delivered in the worst way.
There's like a scene where they're eating dinner before they get to the planet formerly known as Earth.
Yes.
Will Smith is like, denied! Have you seen that? Like,
yes.
Jaden like gets up, stands up, he's like whining about something. Denied! And
Denied!
And like Will Smith, his like legs are broken or something, so he can't move, so he's just like telling his kid how to act.
Yeah.
It's like, I will help you act your way through this movie, even though you can't act your way out of a paper bag. And he's like, I'm scared. And he's like, you should be. There's a lot of money behind this project. It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Nothing good is going to come from this, but you just have to make your way till the end of this movie. And he's like, all right.
Remember, he's like, remember, fear is a decision, but danger is very real. I'm like, it's not like those things are even hand in hand. You can be afraid of something that's not dangerous necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, you can... Yeah, that's totally true.
Yeah. He just says it like with danger, there must also come fear. But with fear, there mustn't always come... there must come danger too. And like, they're not the opposite, or they're not opposites, they don't go hand in hand, they're just kind of... Those are just two things he's saying. He's putting together that sound important. It's M. Night.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
so,
no.
I'm on the Wikipedia page.
What?
So, M. Night Shyamalan, he's usually the sole writer of his movies, and I noticed that he had a co-writer. But this movie also has a story credit.
Oh, no?
You know, kind of like George Lucas on Star Wars, Indiana Jones, the story credit,
yeah.
which you don't see too often. It's by Will Smith.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is Will Smith's brainchild idea. It makes sense, you know? It's like Men in Black, I Am Legend-esque. Mash those two together.
I bet he pitched it kind of like this. So, like, what we're gonna do is, like, see, like, Earth, but, like, it went to shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, man, we're just gonna go there. And then, like, me and Jaden, we're just gonna chill. And then, like, I'm just gonna stay in the spaceship the whole time.
My son's
and Jaden's just gonna run around, and he's in a black suit. And he likes it, but he thinks it's something bad.
That was amazing.
And then I get to say, denied. like 6 times in a row, and no one's gonna say anything about it. And M. Night was like, I love it. Can we make water the alien's weakness?
I
Will Smith was like,
I like
yes.
your movies, M. Night, but no. No, I don't really want to do that. But we can have my wife in it.
She isn't, isn't she?
Is she?
What, Will Smith and Jada...
No, I don't think
Jada
she...
Pinkett Smith?
No, she's not.
She's not.
It's Sophie Okondo? I assumed it was Jada Pinkett Smith. Your Will Smith impression was very good. Except you didn't make a get jiggy with it reference. He's gonna get on Earth and he's gonna get jiggy with it.
He's gonna get fucking jiggy with it.
There should have been a scene in After Earth where after Will Smith or Cypher Rage is bitching to Jaden looks in the camera and is just like, sometimes parents just don't understand. Cue me out, Snyder.
I got that on my Snapchat.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone sees it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh man, I'm in a group chat with Garrett, whom you haven't met, and Zeke, whom you have met.
I remember Zeke.
We need to have him on the show.
I remember Ezekiel.
That was one of the best episodes we've done.
Yeah. We went to Moe's.
We did, because I wanted to get you guys acquainted, you know?
Oh yeah, you wanted us to bond.
I wanted to see how we worked.
You wanted us to bond over food, like many cultures have done before us.
Yes.
For hundreds of years.
Yes. Do you think my Will Smith impression was racist?
No.
See, that's just kind of how he talks.
Yeah.
He's so charismatic in interviews. It's like, where does it go when you're on film? Why do you just get sucked completely dry of any charisma whatsoever?
Is it the money and the fame?
Yeah.
He realizes,
there's a dead look in his eyes.
He realized he doesn't need to try anymore.
I guess maybe you're right.
Everyone loves Will Smith, and I want to love Will Smith. He's an entertaining actor. He's done some good movies, but he hasn't had a very good track record.
No.
Have we ever talked about I Am Legend on this podcast?
I don't think we have. Do you want to?
A little bit, if we're on the subject of Will Smith.
William Smith.
What do you think about that? I'm going to play the I Saw This Opening Weekend card.
Oh, because you saw this opening weekend?
Yeah, this was a movie I saw in theaters that I remember vividly going to see.
I do have a memory of I Am Legend. So, all right, Cole and Jimmy and I.
Doesn't Jimmy love this movie?
Jimmy does love this movie.
Yeah, it's one of his favorites.
Yeah.
I remember he told me that one time.
And before I actually give my review, I'll tell the story. So Cole at the time was living actually right next door to me in their little add-on building that they have. It's technically an apartment, I guess, but so this house right here, there's a connecting house that I'll show you one day in the daylight. And his dad lived there and his grandma lived in the other house. So out in front, they had a TV and a huge Blu-ray collection. Not huge like you, but it was huge to me at the time because I was little and everything's bigger when you're little.
Yeah, and definitely.
Yeah. And
cocks are bigger.
Yes.
For sure, too.
Yes, for sure. Penises are larger. So I remember we watched I Am Legend one time, or maybe Jimmy and Cole watched it without me. And we're like, that was the scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, all right, well, we'll watch it. So me and my dad watched it. And we were both like, wow, this is pretty scary.
I remember.
And it's a good movie. It's fun.
I remember seeing it in theaters, and it had some intense scenes.
It is intense.
Going into that building when his dog's in there and it's dark.
Boy,
that's an awesome scene in that movie.
It is. It is.
The first act of I Am Legend is it's such great build up.
It is. And the flashbacks are really good too.
Yeah.
Because they stop to make you ask questions before he wakes up or whatever, and it doesn't show you what happens, so you fill in the gaps, but I don't know, I like how it's done. I liked it.
Yeah. You know what? I Am Legend, it's a pretty nostalgic movie now that I think about it. It's
a classic.
It's 10 years old at this point. It's got flaws. It's got some pretty bad CGI.
Boy, it does in the face of the zombies. Yeah, it's very dated. Yeah.
And not only that, but it's like these are CGI creations for like those guys didn't need to be CGI.
No, they didn't.
No, not at all. So that's the major thing. Not only is that it's like, oh, it's kind of cheap and dated, but it's like you could have used actors for this.
You're right.
I know it had an alternate ending
where he lives, right?
I think so. Yeah, he lives, and everyone says they like that ending more than the other one, the one that made it to theaters,
where he died. He grenades himself to death.
Yeah, but he finds a cure. Does he still find the cure in the alternate ending?
I think so.
I Am Legend. I don't hate it.
I don't either. I don't think he needed to die at the end. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It feels like they were just like, we've made so many hard decisions in this film. We've killed his family.
We've killed his dog. Oh my god.
That dog death scene is tough too.
It is.
That's a tough scene.
It's all right. It is really sad, but it's also kind of bad writing because it's like, oh, his dog dies. Like, it's a very easy way to like tug at your heartstrings, but it works well.
It does. Like, it's well done in the way that like he just kind of stays with the dog until it freaks out on him and starts trying to kill him, and then he kills it. It's
kind of like a trope, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if you were to use narration in a movie, like that's technically a negative tactic in screenwriting. Like, oh, killing the dog, it's a cheap way of like having the audiences emotionally invested, but it works in the movie because it's literally his only companion.
Yeah, I would say that it actually works in this film in a different way. It is a trope, but it's a twist on that trope in that you get to watch that dog in front of your eyes turn on him and try to start killing it. It's very unsettling.
It is,
and I feel like that's a unique part of that dog killing in this movie that sets it apart from other dog killings in other movies. Whereas, like, I'm okay with it. It gets a pass in this film. I think it's good.
Yeah, when I was 13 and I saw I Am Legend, I loved it. I wasn't.
It is
cynical.
the 13-year-old's dream.
Yeah, it is.
You got freaky zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda.
It's apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's apocalyptic.
End of the world, like sci-fi that all like nerdy 13-year-old kids think is awesome.
You've got Will Smith driving a fast car down New York. You've got him playing golf off a battleship. You got him holding a machine gun with a flashlight on it, and it's cool. You got him. He has a dog.
Yeah, he's got cool. His dog. Was it the dog a German Shepherd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanna be like, oh, the movie fell apart towards the end, because it kind of does, but like it's still like entertaining. I didn't like the human characters that came in at the third act.
Me neither. I thought it kind of got weak.
Yeah, it's like I don't think they needed to be in the movie, but I guess you're kind of waiting for him to interact with someone, because it's interesting because he's like talking to mannequins at first, and that's like actually like touching and like psychological and very plausible. Like, yeah, like he would do that.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to go back to something. I think the marketing for this film is brilliant.
It was.
It's brilliant marketing.
Do you remember the trailers?
I do slightly remember the trailers. I more of remember the slogan. Do you remember the slogan?
The last man on earth
is not alone. So fucking cryptic.
It gets you
perfect. Hyped. That's amazing. That's amazing marketing for that film. That's great.
I'm getting chills just thinking about like the hype that went into that movie.
Yeah, and like, gosh, like you were like, what is this about? Like, I have no idea what it's about. Oh man. When you think about the movie, is almost disappointing when you think of it like that, because like, man, what it could have been. But like,
it's got good stuff in it though.
It does. It does have some really great stuff in it. Again, that scene with him in the dark room in the daylight, that sends chills up my spine. That scene is that
was really fun suspense.
It's freaking tense, especially when you see the huddle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he glances his flashlight, and it's the first time you're getting a look at him, and it's just all these like ill, sickly, like mutated people, all kind of like, are they sleeping? Or are they just
they're sleeping.
They're like they're sleeping, like breathing heavily.
Yeah, like the breathing, God, I want to say, like, they're just, it's unsettling how hard they're breathing, and like they're all moving and gyrating, and it's really gross, and like, God, that is an unsettling scene.
Yeah.
This movie is a lot better than I remember it being. Now that I'm thinking about it.
It is really entertaining despite all its shortcomings. You know what? I think I figured it out. This movie probably had a shit ton of reshoots. That's why.
Oh, you're probably right.
That's why the beginning's so good. The alternate ending solidifies that, and that's probably why they probably showed it. There's some test audiences, and they're like, we wanted more people in it, so they probably shot the scenes with the boy and the girl. You know, shoehorned that into the movie.
Yeah,
that could have been it. But yeah, I Am Legend.
I think the alternate ending is.
Everyone seems to say that it's better, and I felt like they were both kind of the same.
From
I
what,
guess I'd
from
have to
what I
rewatch
remember,
them.
the alternate ending has something to do with a butterfly tattoo on the zombie. One of the zombie he's working on, because he kind of cures her a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
One of the zombies, the big bad zombie at the end, you know, the one with the big mouth.
Yeah, isn't that like the husband or something?
Yeah, he comes in and notices. Yeah, he sees the tattoo and takes her away, and then like they all are just like, all right, nod, and they all just nod to each other, and then they leave. And it shows that, like, I guess the zombies are sort of conscious about things.
They're a bit more intelligent than Will Smith thought.
Yeah, something like that. Or like they're primitive beings, but like they still are compassionate in some way. And then like Will Smith lives and like he's the cure or whatever.
The guy who directed I Am Legend, his name is Francis Lawrence. He went on to direct 3 out of 4 of the Hunger Game films.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which one didn't he direct?
He didn't direct the first one. He directed every single one.
You know what?
That.
Catching Fire was pretty good.
I didn't see any of the other Hunger Game movies. I only saw the first one.
The first one's pretty good too.
I read the book.
I read the book as well.
Yeah, and I remember watching the movie and just being like, I was less than thrilled by it because the book was really solid.
Yeah, the book is solid.
That was a solid page turner.
You know, Suzanne Collins actually wrote a series that I would be more interested in seeing adapted to screen called Gregor the Overlander.
I think I've heard of that.
It was a solid series. I read, I don't know.
Did she write that before the Hunger Games?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that was in my library in elementary school.
Yeah, they were, I read the first one, and I was like, this is solid. Like, this is pretty cool. It's a cool concept. I would like to see it. It was like a world, like, there's like, around the world, there's like tunnels into this underground world where these really pale people live.
Yeah.
And like, the Gregor is searching for his dad, who's under here.
It's like a dark version of Alice in Wonderland.
Sorta, yeah. But yeah, I read it and it was really good. I really liked it.
You know, there was a lot of book series. Well, there still are book series aimed towards children that Harry Potter kind of blew up, and then like there's so many of them. You had like the Spiderwick Chronicles, City of Ember. Do you remember when they made that into a movie?
Yeah,
and it bombed.
Ugh.
I never saw the movie. I didn't read the book, but I remember all.
Was
the
it called
kids at
City
school.
of Ember or was it City of?
It was City of Ember.
City of Sparks.
I think that was a sequel.
Okay, maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah, they made that into a movie with like Saoirse Ronan from Lady Bird,
wow.
of all people, and I think Bill Murray.
Jeez.
I remember reading the book Hoot.
Oh, Hoot.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie to follow. I saw the movie in theaters and I do not remember it. I do not remember a thing about it.
I saw it in theaters too, and I remember liking it, but I remember really, really liking the book.
What's it even about?
About a kid who moves to Florida and like, basically he becomes entangled with this like runaway boy, like a homeless kid who's like trying to protect this plot of land because there's like indigenous owls that live in the ground, and it was just a good story. Like, cool. You know, like there's bullies, there's, you know, he finds love in Brie Larson. Yeah, because Brie Larson's in the movie.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
My girl.
Yeah, your girl Brie Larson. And the boy, he's like that Logan kid?
Logan Lerman?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I believe he's in it.
Oh.
The Percy Jackson kid. Another book series aimed towards kids after the success of Harry Potter.
Yeah, those aren't good.
Nah, I didn't think so. I never saw them.
The books are pretty good though.
Really?
I read a couple of the books. They were pretty okay. I liked them. Boy, we're moving along here, aren't we? Boy. What's another? Ooh, Holes.
Holes is a great book and a great movie.
It is.
I love the movie Holes.
I haven't read the book, but I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that the movie was better. It would not shock me because that's a great movie. We
read the book was read in class, and from what I remember, they're like equal.
Really?
Like the movie is like a very, very accurate representation of the book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because Holes it's an awesome movie. Shia LaBeouf, as a kid, he's like sent to camp for like 18 months or something.
Yeah, Camp Green Lake.
Yeah. And as a kid, you're like, holy shit! Like, I don't want that to happen to me.
God, that's crazy cool.
I love Sigourney Weaver in that movie.
Oh, isn't she great? She's so intimidating.
I know.
God, I love her. She's great.
I love me some Sigourney.
Me too. I love Sigourney too.
Some would say that I lust for Sigourney.
Oh no,
we won't get into that. My Sigourney lust. That's what you should call this episode.
Sigourney Lust? That sounds like something else.
Sigourney Lust.
Oh, God.
I Am Legend's based off of a classic sci-fi horror novel.
What's it called?
I Am Omega? I Am the Omega Man?
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. What's it based off of? Yeah, I Am Legend. No, all right. The novel is called I Am Legend. There's a 70s version of the movie called The Omega Man.
Oh, okay.
And it's written by Richard Matheson. I believe he had a lot of short stories that were adapted into the Twilight Zone. Yeah, he wrote 16 TV episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Including Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with William Shatner.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some fun fact. And he died in 2013 at the age of 87.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Richard Matheson. Brilliant writer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I Am Legend. That was the last time I saw a really cool Will Smith movie. And then, we're gonna roundabout our way back to Shyamalan.
Yep.
He releases The Visit, which I haven't seen.
Yeah, but apparently it's solid.
It was a step in the right direction. People were like, yeah, it sucked, but it wasn't like, holy shit, how was this made? And some people were like, I liked that. I found that enjoyable, and that was weird. I still need to see it. It's like a found footage. Kids go to their grandparents. Grandma and grandpa are crazy.
I heard that
they're like
the kid raps in it, and it's terrible.
That's that classic Shyamalan horribleness.
See, there always is an element of something that's just terrible in his film.
Something that, like, for some people take you out of it, which I kind of like that he's able to get that reaction out of people, especially for the one scene in Split.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The dance sequence.
No, I wasn't
talking about the dance sequence.
I wasn't thinking of the dance sequence. I think the dance sequence is great.
It is great, but it's still it's definitely interesting. It's weird.
So The Visit comes out, and then Split, and in my opinion, Split, he's gone back to full form. He went through
hope.
He went through like some sort of Dante's Inferno journey through hell. And I think he realized the movies he were making were bad, so he came back with Split, and then Glass. And those are all the Shyamalan movies, except for Unbreakable, which I watched for the first time a few nights ago. And I gotta say, Snyder, I really, really liked Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is a great movie.
It is. Bruce Willis, some of the best acting I've ever seen from him. Some of the best from Samuel L. Jackson, because I brought up to you at work, like,
you brought up to me that he plays a different character. He's not playing himself in this movie,
exactly.
which he's guilty of doing a lot, which is not his fault. But, you know, he plays a different character, and it's really refreshing to see that. And that's a good point you made.
Yeah, Unbreakable is amazing. I love the shot of Bruce Willis wearing his...
the raincoat.
Yeah, watching the kids playing football in the rain. That's very Batman-like. Like,
it
looks like something that's ripped out of a comic book.
It is. It's meant to look like that, too. It's really... God, I love Unbreakable.
It's great.
The weightlifting scene, I think, is great.
When I saw it, I realized I had seen a bit of the movie, because I did remember that when they're putting the paint buckets on his weight, and his son keeps getting further and further back.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Unbreakable it's about, which you probably do, it's about a man who is the sole survivor of a train wreck, and this grabs the attention of a man named Elijah, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who is brittle. Some call him Mr. Glass.
Elijah Price?
Yes. I was thinking Prince, but I was like, that's kind of silly. I don't think that's it.
No.
He tries convincing him, like, hey, you might be, like, superhuman in some sense.
Yeah.
Elijah Price is obsessed with comic books ever since he was a kid, and they do his backstory really well.
They do.
Because the first scene is him getting born, and the doctor, or his father, I think it was a doctor, is like, his arms and legs are broken. That's so creepy.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
And then you see him later, his mom introducing him to comic books, and then his mom is at the end of the movie at his art gallery, and I thought that was an awesome way to, like, connect her back. You know, it was almost like an arc for such a small, like, background character, has such a little screen time. Even she has an arc. You see her, like, give birth. You see her introduce Elijah to the most influential thing that will ever happen in his life. And then you see his success and glory.
It's Unbreakable is a great movie.
It is.
It's great.
Have you ever been how many days in your life have you been sick? And, like, you know, it's just an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I love the scene where his kid has a gun and he's going to shoot his dad because he knows that it's not going to hurt him.
Yeah.
But it's done, like, pretty realistically and, like, super tense.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. God, that movie's great.
It is. I know, that's all we keep saying, but this movie came out...
Water... God, water again.
M. Night loves water. Water's done well in this movie, though.
Water is done very well in this movie.
It's his kryptonite. Yeah.
God damn it, Colin, I love you, man.
It's the only thing that can hurt him is water.
Yeah, and, like, how cool is that? That is the good way to do water as your weakness in a superhero film like this.
Was M. Night just trying to keep doing water off Unbreakable? He's like, all right, I got water before.
Lady in the Water.
Dude, M. Night loves water.
He does. He likes it as a motif.
In Unbreakable, you find out David Dunn, he almost died as a child from drowning in a pool, water, and I think after that, once he lived through that, that's when he became unbreakable.
Yeah.
Because, like Split, it does with, like, your beliefs and, like, what your, like, mind can physically do to your body.
Yeah.
So it's like he had this traumatic experience as a kid, and ever since then, it's like he was never going to let something like that happen to him. And because of his beliefs, or his faith, that's another thing M. Night loves, is faith in movies. You know, it turned him into something, you know, beyond man.
Yeah, it's... God, I love this. I love this film. It's amazing. I love this film.
I love this movie too, Jacob. We can both agree that.
Yeah, I
love the way it's shot, the look of it. It's very, like, dark and gritty.
It is.
Was this movie ahead of its time?
Very much so.
Because no one liked it when it came out, because they were like, oh, the twist. There's a twist.
Yeah, there is a twist. It's sort of nothing, really, though, is it? I mean, like, it's not really...
It's a twist.
It is a twist, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think.
Are Are we good at reviewing movies? Bruce Willis, amazing. Samuel L. Jackson, amazing. Robin Wright, a little underused, but she's still pretty good.
Yeah.
There's, that scene where Elijah is in the comic store and he's kind of comatose?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I like to watch my movies with subtitles at home because the sound in my TV isn't very good, and I find that if I watch it with subtitles, I get a bit more invested.
Sure.
And the song that's playing in the comic book store, I could not believe that they picked that song. I've Been Tired by the Pixies. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's such like a niche, like random song that they could have been playing. And it's not even one of their most popular songs. It's off their like first like EP. I'm a huge Pixie fan.
That makes sense. That why you would be so surprised by that.
Yeah, like it's like a movie. They take one of your favorite bands and they use one of their like least known songs. I couldn't believe it. Pixies.
Yeah.
You know the song "Where's My Mind"?
I do.
It's at the end of Fight Club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. So this at the end
of Unbreakable.
Yes.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah. So Mr. Glass is revealed as Elijah Price. Whatever.
David Dunn bumps into him because he's now embraced his powers. He's not denying them anymore, like he'd been doing his whole life.
Yeah.
He's able to see the evil things that Mr. Glass has been doing because he's been obsessed with finding his counterpart out there, which is David.
Yep.
The exact opposite. So he's been causing events, catastrophic tragedies to happen because you find out he's actually a criminal mastermind and he's the villain of the story.
Yeah. He even orchestrated the train crash. It's pretty cool.
On East Rail 17-7, that's the official name of this trilogy. In Split, when Kevin becomes the Beast, he goes to the train station in Philadelphia, and it's said that his dad left on a train. I'm wondering, did his dad die on that train crash? Because he was left with an abusive mom.
Yeah.
So it's like, did Mr. Glass, did he also inadvertently create this supervillain? Mr. Glass is like the Joker, and Kevin, or the Horde, they're more like Venom, I guess. Just like like an imposing like force like of strength, where Glass is the mastermind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair-ish comparison. I think that Glass is... They don't really have a comic book villain that's sort of like that, where he's just like so helpless.
Yes.
Physically.
Yeah, the complete opposite of Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So
it's
fragile.
Pretty cool. Yeah. God damn it, this movie's
good. It is. It's funny when it comes to like me watching a movie that's older and like really, really good. I'm like 9 out of 10 easily. But when it's like a new movie, I have to like really like think about it.
Yeah.
It's like an older movie. I can be like, 9 easily. Amazing.
I'm thinking about the end of Split now. Does the ending of Split for you make it any better? Like, do you like it anymore now that you really like Unbreakable?
Does it make the movie better?
Do you enjoy that ending more, is what I'm saying. I don't know if it makes the movie any better.
Yeah. I'm not going to be like blind fanboy and be like, it's the most amazing thing ever. Because even when I first saw the movie, like, I got it. Because I knew what Unbreakable was. And the internet had already kind of spoiled it for me. I kept seeing like articles and YouTube videos, Unbreakable Split, blah, 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 blah.
It is pretty cool.
It is.
That it's like a secret sequel to that.
And
I love shit like that.
It's really cool because it's like a filmmaker getting to tell the exact story he wants to make.
It is. And that's why I'm really excited for Glass.
I am too. I really hope he knocks it out of the park and doesn't go
Make
back.
It bad,
yes, because there is that potential, but I don't think that's going to happen because I think he takes these movies very seriously.
Yeah, I think that these are movies he wants to make right now.
Yeah, I think these are movies that are very personal to him too.
Mm-hmm.
that he really tries. Like The Happening, that probably wasn't a personal film. Last Airbender, heck no. Lady in the Water kind of was, and that's where it failed.
Yeah, I think he's learned from his mistakes, though.
I think he has too.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Mr. Glass will certainly be making his return, obviously.
Is he going to be in a mental asylum? Because that's what they're alluded to.
Yeah, at the end.
The twist in Unbreakable is very quick, but it works. It tells you what you need to know, like, pretty damn quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few flash images. And that is my only gripe about Unbreakable, is when David Dunn decides to embrace what he can do. It just feels a little dated in execution. Like he's like in a train station or bus station. No, he's at the train station. And he's bumping into people and like, it's like a sound effect shing and like cuts to like black and white. And like, I was like, that's really early 2000s.
Very much so, yes.
Kind of like that dated editing, like edgy, flashy editing technique that we've kind of gone away from. And dude, that ending with Bruce Willis and his kid, they're sitting at the table and he passes him the newspaper and it's like and there's a sketch and he knows that it's his dad and it's like 2 children saved or whatever. And his like son is like in tears, like looking at his father, and Bruce Willis just puts his like, he shushes him like, keep this between you and me. And Bruce Willis also has tears in his eyes too. It's such a beautiful moment.
It is. And another thing I like about the ending, there is no set piece. There is no action set piece. You find out the twist and Bruce Willis turned him in.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
that's said through text.
Yep, that's it.
That's all you need to know.
Yep. And I loved that. Like that's real. That's what would happen. Cuz like Mr. Glass isn't the type of villain you fight. Like physically.
It's because Elijah, he wants to be a hero so bad because his body fails him. That's what drives him to like, orchestrating these disasters.
Yeah.
Because there's also that scene where he's like trying to follow that guy because David's like, I don't know, he probably has a gun under his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And he specifically says a silver gun. And Elijah is following him. He ends up falling down the stairs, breaking his legs. And then the guy in the long jacket, he jumps over the ticket. I don't know what you call that. Where you walk through.
Like a theme park thing, like a subway thing.
Like a ticket booth, whatever.
Yeah.
And you see that he actually does have the silver gun. And like, it's like, Elijah, he just wanted to do something good,
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to save the day, but his body wouldn't let him.
That's the motivations of the characters are very evident. You know what I mean? Like you see them, they're real, you relate to them, you understand them. It's really nice.
Oh my god, the scene where he's waking up from the train station. In like the forefront, out of focus, is like someone breathing, like wrapped in gauze.
Mm-hmm.
And like the camera's slowly like going more in and in. And it's Bruce Willis, the doctor's like telling him like, the doctor's freaked out. He's like, everyone died and like you don't have a scratch. And the more he's talking about it, he's like, there's only 2 survivors and that man isn't going to live much longer. And it's the guy wrapped in gauze. And then you just see like a wound open bleeding. And like the camera, the way it zooms in, so well done. And then he leaves and like everyone, like the family's victims are just staring at him in like shock and horror.
Yeah.
And his son like runs up to hug him. And it makes sense that his kid would be super clingy too, because he thinks his dad is like dying. I don't know about you, but when you were a kid, did you ever have like a thought of like, what would happen if my parents died?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something every kid goes through, and that's such a real thing.
Movies have taught you that you would go to live with a relative or something.
Yeah.
A long lost relative.
Or an orphanage.
Oh god.
Or an orphanage, a horrible orphanage.
That would be horrible. Man.
You realize that David Dunn, he has marital problems. Because there's a scene at the very beginning when he's talking to a pretty lady on a train, and you see him take his ring off.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera's bouncing back and forth between the two, and you realize that it's like a kid in the front aisle, like, spying on him.
Yeah.
That's oddly creative and unnecessary, but
yeah,
interesting.
It is unnecessary.
It's like
that is a little weird.
It's unnecessary, like over directing.
Yeah, it's not really done again in the film either. Like, not really a perspective shot like that.
It's kind of done in Split at the very end, where Kevin's in like this abandoned house, probably his childhood home, and the camera's going across mirrors, and each time the camera lands on a mirror reflection, he's like a different character.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like similar directing.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Well, Jacob, I think it's both safe to say that we love Split, or Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, yeah, and I do like Split.
It's
cool.
Tarantino loves Unbreakable too. It's one of his favorite films.
He said it's the story of Superman if he didn't know he was Superman. Isn't that what he said?
Something like that. That's the best way to describe it.
Or if he didn't know he was from Krypton or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did Tarantino say about Unbreakable? Let me see.
So yeah, M. Night, he has a lot of potential. He's made some really bad movies. He's made some moving films.
Yeah, Tarantino fucking loves Unbreakable. Quentin Tarantino explains why M. Night's Unbreakable is a great movie. He calls it a masterpiece.
Chris Stuckman does a very good review on it too, which I know is like kind of
he
like
does.
It's kind of weird saying that because it's like, oh, Chris Stuckman, all of his reviews are kind of normally like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some Stuckman. I'd let him Stuckmanize me, am I right?
Oh my god. Tarantino says, the film is about one sentence. What if Superman was here on Earth and didn't know he was Superman? Of course, you don't know that until you see the movie.
Spoiler.
He says, anyway, I think Unbreakable is one of the masterpieces of our time, after explaining all these different things. Yeah.
I wonder what he thought of Split.
What if he hated it? What if he fucking hated it?
What if he hated it and then he saw the Unbreakable thing and then he just got like super obnoxious like fanboy over it? Have you seen that interview from Sin City? I think it was on the DVD special features that I used to watch when I had the DVD, and it's him like nerding out over Frank Miller being in The Office.
No, I haven't.
It's like that over the top, like starstruck, like is that him? Like that type of like over the top nerding out. You think he was just doing that?
Man, Tarantino is in Sin City.
Yeah, I think he plays
in that.
He plays like a pedophile or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Is Sin City Robert Rodriguez's best film?
His best? I'd say it's like one of his most entertaining movies. I don't know about his best.
It's his best.
Sin City?
Yeah.
They made a sequel to Sin City.
A Dame to Kill For.
Yeah, no one saw it because they were like, it's too late for a Sin City sequel.
Yeah, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's like we missed our window.
They did miss the window. Mm-hmm. That was unnecessary.
Well, we got a little bit of time left. I can't really think of anything else I want to talk about.
We can go ahead and end it if you want.
I will, and I'm going to leave it on a cliffhanger for a film that I'm going to watch, and I will discuss on next week's podcast. It is a you're gonna hate the sound of this.
I likely will.
It is a 1940s film called The Boy with Green Hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's about a boy with green hair. Well, Jacob, where can we find you on the social medias?
You can find me at Jacob's Wetsuit on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. My name's Jacob Snyder. Man, let me see. What else? What? Well, you can email the show at fppcreative@gmail.com. Yeah, fppcreative@gmail.com. You can go to our Facebook page, the Snyder-Collin Facebook page. You can comment or anything. Send us a message if you want to. You can do that. I don't know. I don't really post to the Facebook page much, but
yeah,
I'll start posting more to it.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, we need to do that.
I've been thinking about it, but then I oddly get lazy over
Me
posting
too.
stuff.
I get lazy too. It's hard to make posts like that. It's really
It kind of is sometimes. That's why you need a social
tedious.
media person.
We need Dub.
He'll do
we
it.
need you, Dub. We've mentioned Dub a couple times. I'm gonna text him and say, "Hey, we mentioned you a lot on this last podcast, just so you know."
Wake up, Dub.
Wake up, C-Dub.
You're in a simulation.
You're in a
we
simulation.
Need you to
C-Dub.
wake
we need
up.
you. We need you to wake up now.
Wake up, Rooney.
Rooney.
Shout out to Rooney Coaster. Word to your mother. Word to your mother, Rooney.
Oh God. What else is there? There's really nothing much else. You can follow FPP Creative on Twitter if you want.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Collin? Not on Twitter, apparently.
I'm on an indefinite hiatus from Twitter. You can add me on Facebook, though, and Snapchat. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this. We talked about a lot of movies.
We did. We
talked nothing that wasn't movie related for the most part.
Pretty much.
So this is
first episode in a while that we've done that.
This is a movie podcast.
This is a movie podcast, and we actually talked about movies this last time, and that's great.
We should.
I have to sneeze.
We should. Bless you.
Thank you very much.
I actually enjoyed kind of going through a director's filmography.
I did too. Maybe we should do that more.
We should. It's a.
What's another good director? Tarantino,
Kubrick,
yeah.
Spielberg,
Kubrick.
Scorsese.
I haven't seen a lot of Kubrick. There is a lot of Kubrick I haven't seen. I haven't even seen Barry Lyndon.
I thought you had seen Barry Lyndon.
No, I haven't seen Barry Lyndon. Because I know that it's supposedly very boring. Look, 2001 is boring.
Yeah,
okay, 2001 is a boring mass movie, but it's just cool to watch.
I think it depends. It's one of the most beautifully shot films ever, Barry Lyndon. It's long.
I believe it.
Well,
I guess that's it for the podcast.
Until next time, pals.
Yep, till next time. You guys, take it easy. Have a good one. #Goo for Violence.
Always goo for violence.
Goo for Violence. Have a good one, guys.
Adios, amigos. The three amigos of cinema. Carwan, Del Toro, and Iñárritu. That's what they're apparently called. The three amigos of cinema.
Wow.
That's why they're going to give Del Toro an Oscar.
You're right. What an ending to this podcast. Have a good one, guys.